Hello, good morning children. Children, today we shall start with a new chapter from English grammar, that is adverbs. Chapter 10, adverbs. Children, this is another part of speech. Earlier we had completed the chapter verb. So you see children, before we start with the chapter, let me ask you a question. First of all, what a verb is. We have already discussed in our previous lessons that verb states being, it denotes action, at the same time it also denotes possession. Now, related to the chapter verbs, you will see adverbs functions accordingly. Why accordingly? What do I mean by that? First of all, children, when I talk about adverb, how do I define it? Children, you see the word adverbs, right? It sounds as if it is a compound word. Add plus verbs becomes adverbs. So we are adding something to the meaning of a verb. So first part adds meaning to a verb, right? So what does an adverb do? It adds meaning to a verb. Now secondly, if I talk about adverbs, it is not restricted only to adding meaning to a verb. It also modifies an adjective. At the same time, it also has the power to modify an adverb itself. Modifies adverb itself. So children, now how do I define adverb? Adverb adds meaning to a verb. It modifies an adjective. At the same time, it also modifies an adverb itself. Now, going with the definition, I will give you or I will set few examples so that you understand and comprehend well. For example, number 1. He speaks fluently. What have I done? Children, this is my subject. Speaks is verb, right? And this is the verb which has been modified by the word fluently. Henceforth, this is my adverb and it has justified the first definition that it adds meaning to a verb. Now when I talk about adverb modifies an adjective, what do I mean by that? Another example, if you see, she is a very intelligent girl, right? Now this is children, she is, of course, my subject is helping verb, right? Now you see the word very intelligent girl. Now if I talk about the word intelligent, this is an adjective which describes the girl, that the girl is intelligent, right? How intelligent? How intelligent she is? She is very intelligent. So the word very has tried to modify the adjective. So again, you see that the word very is an adverb. Now, the second part has been justified now that it modifies an adjective. Now, the third part that it modifies an adverb itself. Example 3. She is, right, too brilliant, or I would rather use she did her work very brilliantly. very brilliantly. Now you see here, she is your subject, of course. Did is the verb, right? Her is your object, right? Work is also object. Now very and brilliantly are two adverbs. So here it is trying to modify an adverb itself. This adverb as well as this is also an adverb. So this adverb has tried to further modify another adverb, that is brilliant. Right? So again, my third part also gets justified. Children, the most important thing in learning is you need to justify. Likewise you do in maths, there are verification, so is English. You need to justify your point. So the meaning, first of all, the definition of an adverb, it adds meaning to a verb, it modifies an adjective, it modifies an adverb itself. And these are the three examples which will help you to understand well the definition. Now further moving on with the next part, that is the different types of adverbs, which is again very important. So when I talk about the different kinds of adverbs, what kinds of adverbs? Children, you remember that when we were doing the chapter verb, we had further classified verb under various categories, right? So is adverb also. So the very first one, adverb of manner, right? The first kind is adverb of manner. Then comes adverb of time, adverb of place, adverb of reason, adverb of frequency, adverb of degree, adverb interrogative, and lastly relative adverb. So children, like you will find in your textbook, few adverbs has been spoken. But what we are trying to do is, we are trying to cover up all the different types or kinds of adverbs, so that it does not hinder the path to construct better sentences and to understand grammar. Now when I talk about the adverb of manner, children, adverb of manner means how. In simple, if I say what is adverb of manner, it tells you or it modifies in what manner has the work been done or the action has been done. For example, she laughed loudly, right? So children, you see manner, how she laughed loudly, how you speak softly, how you dance gracefully. So these words are actually trying to tell us in what manner an action is being done, right? Now moving on to the next part, that is time, adverb of time. Children, adverb of time, how would you look at it or how would you understand? Very simple. She came to school early. So when did she come to school, children? Early. So here if I talk about time, in short I can say when. Right? We are not talking exactly about 10 o'clock, 5 o'clock, that is also adverb. But words like early, late, tomorrow, tonight, these are all coming under adverb of time. Next, children, is place. Now adverb of place, of course, it is going to modify or it is going to tell you about where the action took place. So here this would be my where. Right? In simple we can say where the action took place. I went to school early. Right? Where did I go, children? School. Right? When? Early. One more example. She went downstairs. Where did she go? Downstairs, upstairs, here, there, everywhere. These are examples of place. Now coming down to the next part, children, that is reason. Why? I did not go to school, so I was punished. I did not go to school, so I was punished. So words like so, because, therefore, henceforth are all coming under reason. Next is, children, frequency. When I am talking about frequency, I mean to say like how often. Isn't it, children? How often? How often? How often the action took place. So I can say I frequently visit my grandfather's place. So children, how often? Rarely, frequently, seldom. Right? So these words, it indicates how often the action takes place. Right? Next is degree. Children, what is degree? Degree is to what extent? How much? Right, here we have written how often. Degree can be stated as how much or to what extent. Right? How much or to what extent. She looks perfectly beautiful in her new dress. Perfectly beautiful. He has completely eaten his lunch. She has partly done her work. So words like those actually does the work or denotes degree in a sentence. Next is, children, interrogative. Now when I talk about interrogative, I'll just rub this part. Interrogative, children, it is somewhere related to question. How much does this cost you? So children, like words like WH, right? WH words we are talking about, which indicates question, and those are your interrogative adverbs. Lastly, you see, children, that there is another very important, this is actually altogether a new chapter in class 9 and 10, relative. Children, relative adverb, relative clause, relative, these, the chapter relative is very much in depth when you go in class 9, and you will find that this is a separate chapter. So when I talk about relative, children, means I am trying to merge two sentences. So words like, if you see in your book, the words like why, how, where, when. How, why, where, when. If these words are used, to join sentences. For example, this is how he does his work. I called him when he was free. So you see, children, that these sentences, are combination of two different sentences, and words like how, when, where, right? These words help to join. So children, to sum up the chapter, we can say that what we did today was the definition of adverb. Just to reinforce what we did today, adverb adds meaning to a verb, right? It modifies an adjective. At the same time, it also modifies an adverb itself. Second part, what we did was kinds of adverbs, where we spoke about, or where we learned adverb of manner, time, place, reason, frequency, degree, interrogative, relative. Children, these two, reason and relative, right? You will find it will also come in clause when you will study in class 9. Or further, when we will move ahead with the chapter clause, we will find the use of reason, and that will help you to connect with adverb clause. Children, the chapter adverb does not end here. Again, we have another chapter in future, that is adverb clause, adverb phrase, adjective clause, adjective phrase, noun clause, noun phrase. Now, lastly, children, very important, what we are going to do is, mostly when we construct sentences, right? Mostly when we construct sentences, we go wrong. We go wrong in the sense we find that the sentence is written correctly, but sometimes formation also matters a lot. Now, when I talk about children, the objective of learning an adverb or any part of speech is only one. The objective lies where we learn grammar just to, use. Means where we apply. Application of grammar comes when you construct sentences, when you document your work, when you speak publicly. So there comes the use of not only adverbs but all the parts of speech. Right? So objective behind this, application. Application in writing or documenting any official or anything. It could be official, it could be personal, whatever. But the use of grammar comes there. Now coming down to the last part, that is position of adverbs. Today when I talk, when I talk about position of adverbs, this plays a very important role. Children, there is a very simple trick. What you need to follow. When I was writing the kinds of adverbs, you must have noticed that I wrote manner first, place, then time, right? Or maybe manner, time, place, right? So when I was writing that, I could have easily written in a haphazard manner, isn't it? But what I did, I just followed the protocol as it is there in the book. So what we have to mark is M, which stands for manner, second, place, and lastly, time. This is what you follow in the structure of a sentence. I'll give you one very simple example. She spoke loudly in school yesterday. You can see this sentence. This is my subject, of course. This is my verb, right? Loudly is adverb, right? Manner. School is place, and yesterday is time. Now, children, if I write in this manner, she spoke loudly yesterday in school, you will say that it is also correct, right? But children, here comes the application, as I said, that whenever we write or whenever we construct sentences, we have to keep in mind that never the manner can come last. The manner has to come first, then it should follow place, and then time. If we are not constructing in this format, grammatically your sentence is not right. Maybe if you speak, it may sound right, but grammatically it is not correct. So whenever we construct sentence, we keep in our mind that we need to follow this manner, place, moment. So first comes manner, then comes place, and then comes time. Lastly, children, before I wind up this class, children, you will also find in your textbook about the intensity of adverb as we have done in adjectives. That is positive, comparative and superlative. Same applies what you have done in adjectives. That is we use than when we are comparing in adverbs, right? And in the superlative degree we do not use, in fact we use the superlative form, right? But more important in this chapter is the kinds of adverbs and the position of adverbs, which I have discussed in the class. Children, accordingly refer to the chapter and try to solve the exercise on your own. In the next class you will find the same chapter's textbook work, answer key would be uploaded. Right, children? So till then what you do is you try, watch the video and then try to do or solve the exercise. You will find it easier and convenient for you. Till then, children, have a good day. Thank you.